Now, I've been getting a lot of questions. Actually, I've been getting completely hammered over the last 2 days with questions from people on Steam, YouTube, and everywhere else. One of the most common questions I'm getting is, whoa, what's in the new DLC, bro? What's the coolest thing? So that gave me an idea. Let's make a top 10! Yeah, so this is the top 10 coolest things that I found in the new DLC. You might not agree with all of them. I think they're the coolest. That's fine. Now, coming in at number 10 is the oil rig, water fountain, and windmill. These are kind of interesting new structures added to Ark that are sort of just like passive. You just set it and forget it, and I thought that was just the coolest thing. The windmill, you set it, it gives you unlimited energy. You don't need any fuel like with the regular generator. You can power everything. That is honestly like my favorite thing. And then there's the oil rig, which you just set it, and then it just passively gathers oil. Over the course of like 24 hours, I think it got me 3,000 oil, so that's great. You never have to worry about oil again. The water fountain is really cool because unlike the water tank, you set it and then it just gives you unlimited water forever. You can fill your water skins or anything. You can also attach irrigation to it to irrigate your crop plots, which is really rad. Number 9, the Adobe and Tent structures. These are really great because they actually give you weather resistance. So if it's too hot or too cold, you just step inside and you're A-okay. One of the things that always drove me mad with the regular game was when it's just way too cold, way too hot, whatever, and you'd think, hey, I'm gonna build a little house and I'm gonna cuddle up in here, I'm gonna be A-okay, right? No, you're wrong. Instead, you just burn to death. Number 8, the chainsaw. This thing is cool. I mean, I've wanted a chainsaw forever. I always love to be the guy who runs around and just hacks people apart. This thing's pretty intimidating. It sounds crazy. It tears through structures. It tears through animals. It tears through wood. I mean, of course, you can use it to harvest a ton of wood. And obviously, it just decimates other players. So this has got to be like the most versatile, badass weapon added to the game. Number 7, the new oil jar and fire arrows. This is something that I've wanted like forever, and I've seen people talking about it for quite a while. Why can't we light our arrows on fire and then just light fools up? Well, we finally got it with this update. Nothing can compare to the joy of just setting things on fire. It's just so much fun. The fire arrows are just fantastic for wiping out thatch structures and decimating people's tames. I love it. Number 6. You know, I just said that nothing can compare to the joy of lighting things on fire. Well, it gets better, because now we have a flamethrower, the long-awaited flamethrower. It's finally here. So I heard you need some crowd control. Well, just whip this thing out and just light them up. Number 5. Now, I know there's probably mixed feelings about this, but I don't care. I like it. I think it's dope. Basically, lock onto anything and just blow it up. It's fantastic. Finally, we have something that's reliable against flyers. Yes! I mean, that's of course assuming that they didn't just pump 500% movement speed into it. I mean, at that point, nothing can stop it, so GG. Number 4, the new Rock Golem. The first time I ran into this thing, I was just sort of wandering around on the mountain. I didn't know what to expect. Thing's hiding as a rock. It pops out and just kills me. I was like, that is so neat. I was annoyed because I had to run all the way back over there, but that was pretty neat. Not only is this tameable, the stone golem has 3 new attacks in addition to being able to hide as a rock, and it's tameable, which is really cool. We actually covered this in another video, so why don't you go ahead and click on screen and check out that video. Number 3, how could we possibly have a top 10 countdown without the Wyvern? Of course that makes it to the top 10. It's too cool. What I really like about this new DLC is it feels a lot like a fantasy or an RPG game, kinda, where you start out at the bottom with nothing, and the sort of goal is to just work your way up, like level up, get to the top, to finally take on and acquire one of the most legendary, powerful creatures. The Wyvern comes in 3 different flavors: electric, poison, and fire. and this thing is not easy to get. Now, if you want to know more about it, we actually made another video covering this as well, so go ahead and click the annotation on screen and check that out. Number 2, the whip. Now, I know what you're thinking. The whip? Number 2? Why? It's just like, you know, it's nothing. I don't understand. There's so many other big, like, really cool things. No, I'm putting the whip as number 2 because of all the features in the new update. The whip probably got the most, like, what? Wow! Oh my gosh! Kind of reaction from me. This thing, it's just so cool. Now, on the surface, it seems simple, but it's not. The whip is a very complex and powerful weapon, perhaps the most powerful weapon ever introduced to Ark. And why? Well, for one, you can disarm your enemies. So if you have somebody coming at you with bolas or anything, no matter what they're coming at you with, you can actually whip them and disarm their weapon and take it from them. That's crazy. I tried this out in some PvP situations, and the guy who has the whip, like, always wins. Another thing you can do is you can actually whip animals and just get them out of your way. Another sort of unknown or little-known feature of the whip that's just totally awesome is the ability to just whip people off their mounts. If you can, it's kind of hard, you gotta aim it, but if you can actually aim it and hit the rider, you whip them off the mount. That's really cool. That actually gives people who are on foot a chance against people who are on dinos. And coming in at number 1, the map. The map itself. I'd pay $20 just for the map. The map is so good. You know, I said this before and I'll say it again. This practically looks like a new game. If you compare Ark Day 1, a lot of the Day 1 content, to Ark now, it's very, very clear that the art direction and the skill set of the staff has just improved dramatically. I mean, it looks like a different game. It's so good looking. When I first loaded up the game to work on some of the first videos covering this update, I actually totally got distracted. I was just flying around the map aimlessly for like hours because it's just so nice to look at. There's just such a huge variety of different elements and things that are just pretty, I guess. Like, look at these ruins. These are cool, right? Yeah, these are really cool. I don't know, they're cool, yeah. Well, dear citizens of the Shaft, that's all I got for you for now. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Do you think I'm completely ridiculous with this list? Is there something that I overlooked that's just way cooler than anything else? I don't think so. I looked at everything and I think this is the coolest stuff. But if you disagree, then come at me. Let's see what you have to say. And hey, if you're new here, why don't you hit that subscribe button? If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I have no doubt in my mind that if you look around on the channel, you too will become a loyal citizen of the Shaft. We're gonna be making a lot more videos covering this update, so you don't want to miss out.